it's Riley from Science Girl, and today we're going to be dissecting a pig heart. I know I did this previously, but that was a cow heart and I didn't have any instructions, so some of that information and me pointing out certain things may not have been that reliable. For this, I have an actual book with everything labeled, so we should be able to get this done nice and easy. This is another Carolina kit that I got for my birthday quite a few months ago, so this is not how it looks when you get it, but as you can notice, it's much larger than the size of a human heart, but that's because humans need a smaller one that needs to be protected by the ribs and other systems in the body. While pigs, they're pretty good. If you notice, it's a little bit discolored, of course, and there's also some fat along here, which is totally normal. You have a lot of people saying, oh, you shouldn't have too much fat in the body, but there's actually quite a bit of fat that protects the heart and the brain. There's a lot on the brain, but that's totally normal. For the heart, you don't want too much, so this is a nice, healthy heart right here. So for this, you're going to need a pair of gloves, an apron if you have it, and some protective eyewear, along with a pair of scissors to pop this thing open. So let's start cutting along here and pop this bad boy out, if it will cut. Oh no. I need to get a pair of sharper scissors. Here we go, these are good scissors. Yeah, that's much better. Sorry you had to watch me struggle for a second there. Just a warning, if you do decide to do this, the smell is not the most pleasant thing in the world, so be prepared for that. And I have to cut closer. Oh god. Yeah, the smells, oh god, there's liquid in this thing. I can't smell that anywhere. This thing stinks horribly. There. Oh boy. Let's see if we can pop this thing open from here. There we go. There's a few openings. Forgive me. This thing really does stink badly. Let's see if I can pop this bad boy open. I'm trying my best not to damage the heart, but the packaging does not make that easy. Okay, let's hope I get used to this like the brain. Oh my god. Yeah, these scissors are definitely going to need to be cleaned well. Come on, little heart. You know what? I've been struggling here for a little bit, so I'll come back once I get this out. Okay, so I managed to get it out, and this is what it looks like. I have to be careful because there's a lot of preservatives just floating around on the tray. So it's pretty big, as you can see, but this is really neat. If you look on the back here, you can see all of the fat just right along here. You can see each of the little sections of it just moving its way along the different veins and arteries. You can see it pass along here. But that's pretty much what we're going to be working with. Oh boy. Let's see. So there are different sections of the heart. Mammals have 4 different sections. There's the right atrium, the right ventricle, the left atrium, and the left ventricle. There's also the aorta, the superior vena cava, the pulmonary trunk, and pulmonary vein. Sorry, I pronounced that wrong. Okay, let's see. So, following the diagram on here, let's see if I can figure out what is what. Okay, so here we have the superior vena cava. This is the largest one that you're going to find. Oh boy, that actually feels really weird. Along here we have the right atrium, right along here. Wait. Yeah, sorry, I have that wrong. No. This thing is very difficult to figure out. Yes, so like this. My bad, I had it wrong the first time. So along here you have the superior vena cava, which is surrounded by a layer of fat along here. And right next to it is it's attached to the aorta, which comes along the back here, which is what I was pointing at earlier. So these two are attached by a nice little piece connecting them right down in the center. This part right here is the right atrium. It's quite small, but some sections are. This entire large section right along here, this is the right ventricle. It's larger and it helps push blood through. This is the left ventricle, and then right up here we have the left atrium. If you notice, but the atriums are smaller than the ventricles, but that's because they are helping push the blood out to the lungs and then come back into one of the ventricles, which then pushes them up through the veins and out to the body, and then they come back. So for the aortas, right along here, the aorta right here, this is very important. It's much larger because this is the piece that actually pumps the blood out to the body. This is the piece that pushes it out, while the vena cava brings it in. So we're going to actually pop this bad boy and cut him open. So there's a pair of scissors in here. I'm not sure where to start. Let me take a look at the book here. So I'm going to make a right atrium cut. So I want to cut along here so that I can see. Oh, it's actually pretty open already. What luck. So I'm just going to make a small incision right along here and cut them open a bit. There. And let's make one more cut along here. Oh boy. Nope, still need these. And I'm sorry that this is taking a while, but it's very difficult to cut through a heart with just a small pair of scissors. Especially medical ones, since they're very small, as you can see, because they're meant for small incisions, not for larger ones. That's why we have scalpels, but a scalpel didn't come with this. So we're just going to have to do our best here. And that should be enough to try and pry it open a little bit. Not much there, but as you can see, it's just mainly muscle tissue actually for the heart. So the heart is just made of primarily muscle, so all of this tissue you see in here is just muscle tissue. The heart is just a giant muscle that contracts and moves just like every other muscle, like your bicep, your tricep, and other muscle groups that you have in your body. Everything in here is just a muscle. So I'm actually going to try and clip this bad boy out so that we can pop him open and see what's inside. So you can see the different sections. Okay, so I managed to open up the heart a little bit. Sorry if you guys can't see really well, but all of this on the inside is muscle tissue. It lines the heart, and all of this section right here, that's all muscle. It's a very strong muscle, one of the most powerful in the body, if not the most. And this in here is actually one of the heart walls. This is what keeps the blood going from one area instead of another. And if you, here, let me pop it open a bit more. That right there is actually a nice little vein that comes right through here. And now for the best part. You take a dowel and you stick it through to see if you can follow it. Let's try that. No, it's getting stuck there, so let's try the other side and see what we can follow. Oh. And there's proving that those two are connected. Went right straight through, no issue. It's really neat to just be able to see all of these different sections of the heart and the different parts. Each one has its own job, which allows the heart to actually work and pump blood throughout the body. So the neat thing about the heart is that when you listen to it with a stethoscope, you can hear a lub-dub sound. The lub and the dub are each made by different sections of the heart opening and closing. The lub is produced by the closing of the valves between the atria and the ventricles, and the opening of the semilunar valves, So what that means is that between the atria, let's see if we can figure that out. So the atria is just one of the atriums. So you're looking right here, right along here. So this opens, which allows the blood to go through, and the ventricle closes. That creates the lub sound. The dub is created by the opening, the opposite. So that would be the opening of this and the closing of the ventricle. So whenever you hear that, that's just the different portions of the heart where you have the little muscles which allow blood to go through and stop it from going through, just opening and closing, opening and closing. The closing is what allows the blood to not go through each section of the heart at such a fast rate. It keeps the heart working properly, which is why some people may have an issue with their valves and therefore need a pacemaker or something that's going to help fix their heart, which is also why lots of people need surgeries to add pacemakers. Let's see what else we can figure out on here. I'm actually quite curious about this. So there's a little hole right here in the heart. I'm not exactly sure where it leads. So I'm just going to cut along it and see what we can find. Let's see. So it appears to be some kind of vein. Aha, and I think oh yes. So this is actually leading to this section right here in the heart. I believe that this is one of the ventricles. Let's see, this is the left ventricle that's leading into. So this is where the blood comes in to go to the left ventricle, come around, and then get pumped back out. So what you're seeing right here is one of the valves for it. Let me cut open a little bit. And as you can see, it just goes right down into it. Here, it's just a hole of tissue that you can just push right through. One thing that I would like to reveal, but I'm probably sure that I can't, is one of the valves. Those are a little bit difficult because they're way down in the vein, but I can give it a try. Oh boy. That's not good. Okay, so I did a little bit of digging and I found this really neat thing right here. These little, here, let's see if we can get enough light. This piece right here below the skin that I'm holding back, that is all muscle tissue. Everything right here. You can just see it moving. And then pulling right back. It's just like a rubber band, which is exactly how it should be. That is so neat. Now I'm trying to find a valve, but it appears that it's deeper than I can cut, so can't really do that, but we have found quite a few neat things, such as that muscle tissue. But you can also see the differences in the actual tissue here. So this tissue on the outside of the heart is nice and smooth, but the deeper you go, the rougher it gets. But then you have the ventricle, the right ventricle right here, which is nice and smooth too. You can see it in the way that this thing moves right across. Nice and easy, and then it's rough right here. There's different kinds of tissue. You have rough and smooth tissue. So here is a very good example of the smooth tissue versus the rough tissue. And just to take a look at, that is how thick the wall is to protect your atrium and ventricle and everything inside of your heart. This entire section right here, that is all just there to protect the heart. It's incredibly thick. So sadly, we couldn't find a valve, but that's okay. There's a lot of different sections on the heart. This is really neat to just take a look at. Sadly, we can't do more though. Kind of difficult to cut it open, but this has been fun. If you guys like this video, please check out my channel and check out other videos. If you like my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell to get notifications whenever I post a new video. I love you guys. Have a great day. Please stay safe right now. Have a happy holiday. I love you guys. But for now, this is Science Girl.